good, YouTube? It's your boy, Kage, and I'm here with the WWE Elimination Chamber review. And in my opinion, overall, this show was predictable, but good. It was good. It was good and predictable. So, let's just start off with the most hated one. Rey Mysterio versus The Miz was on the kickoff show. I thought that was going to be Drew McIntyre and Katmos, but unfortunately Drew McIntyre is way too big. Now, the simple fact that the crowd was literally livid. I mean, not livid, but they were so good throughout the whole show, actually. But what surprised me more is that their energy on the kickoff show was, hilarious. I mean, I've never seen that type of response. I guess it's just because it's Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio did end up winning that match. I think that means they're going to have another match at WrestleMania, hopefully the last one. After that, we had the start of the show, which was the Women's Elimination Chamber match between, the first match was Roman Reigns versus Goldberg, because as we all know, either Roman wants to go last or he's going to go first. So, he said he would Goldberg, and that's exactly what he did. Purely 9 to 10 minutes of pure dominance from Roman, leading him up to the guillotine and winning via submission. Not because he tapped out, but because he passed out. So, nice that we are moving on from this whole thing, and then now we're going to go just straight to WrestleMania. Now, the simple fact that March doesn't have any pay-per-view or premium live event, and we have to wait till April 3rd and 4th for, I guess it's because we have two nights of WrestleMania, maybe, I don't know. But, I think it was the correct decision to have Roman win. Correct decision. Moving on, because I don't want to fully talk about that. Then we had the Women's Elimination Chamber match, which performed pretty good. The whole performance was good. When Alexa Bliss came in and she did that Hurricane Rana on Rhea Ripley, it was golden. I was losing my mind. But of course, the rumors were that Bianca Belair was going to face Becky Lynch, or whoever the champion would be at WrestleMania. That's exactly what happened. She won the Elimination Chamber match. I can't be mad about it. Bianca Belair deserves to be on top of the world. And if this leads into another Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks down the line, if they do end up killing the brand split, we'll talk about that later, then I wouldn't mind. I guess maybe having Bianca beat Becky Lynch would be the correct move, but I can't really say. Maybe I'll do 4 videos, maybe on that Thursday before WrestleMania, I'll do my prediction. Then Friday I'll do SmackDown. Then I'll do night 1 and night 2 of WrestleMania. Sever the Bond couldn't be here today, so sorry about that if you guys are here for him. He will be here for WrestleMania, so that's a good thing. Now, then we go into Lita versus Becky Lynch. Honestly, it did better than I was expecting. Of course, you're going to have Becky Lynch win, because why would you have Lita win at this stage of her career? Not saying that I wouldn't be happy about, not saying that I wouldn't mind, but I wouldn't be happy with it. Now, it was an okay match. I think they both did what they could, especially with Lita not being in the ring as much, so she had limited movements that she could do. It was kind of cliche that during their segments where they're interacting with actually hitting each other, it kind of felt weird to me. But now when this match happened, I'm like, oh, I get it. A botch Twist of Fate is okay because the pay-per-view was pretty good. So it was a pretty good match. I enjoyed it heavily. Katmos versus Drew McIntyre was probably I went to the restroom and I didn't really watch the whole thing. But as soon as I sit down all I see is Katmos getting his head slammed into the ground with an Alabama slam, and when they put in slow motion, you see his neck go through his spine. I don't know how he stood up from that. Shout out to him. The match was okay for the most part until the end, where Drew McIntyre swung his sword at Happy Corbin and almost took his head off. You could see Happy Corbin outside being like, "He almost took my head off. What are you doing?" To the ref, but the ref's like, "It's no DQ. What do you want me to do?" But then again, it was no DQ when the Fiend lost to Seth Rollins for the Universal Championship. Anyway, oh shit. Anyway, so match was great. Match was good. Could have been better, but I love the simple fact that they had Corbin interfere the whole match because it's a no DQ, and like he wasn't trying to hide from the ref either. He knew what he had to do, which was good. I wouldn't mind. Anyway, then we go into the next match, which wasn't a match because it was no contest. That was the Viking Raiders versus the Uso. I'm assuming that they're going to be at WrestleMania fighting for the championship. Now, WrestleMania is in 6 weeks from today, so maybe they have a match before that on an episode of SmackDown, but I don't really think so. But yeah, then we have to talk about predictability at its finest. Now, I want to tell you guys that I'm really not accustomed to all this. Like, I don't really know how to explain it, but I'm going to try to do the best work that I can. Naomi and Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair and Sonya Deville was everything I expected it to be. I am not surprised. Everything happened exactly how I thought it. Moving on. Now, the men's match, I couldn't see Bobby Lashley lose the championship. He literally just got it. I didn't think they were just going to give it to Brock. So WWE did what WWE does, and it's give us a reason to be okay with Brock Lesnar winning. Now, here's the facts. Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, title for title. Will they kill the off-the-brand split? I don't know, but we just got GM mode back in WWE 2K22, so why are you going to kill it now? At least give us one more year after that. But anyway, yeah, Brock Lesnar is your new WWE champion. Bobby Lashley didn't lose per se. He got a concussion because Seth Rollins threw, I believe, Austin Theory through his glass and he hit his head. So it's a storyline concussion, I believe. So he wasn't gonna come back into the ring. Then after Bobby Lashley was supposed to come out, and Brock Lesnar just destroyed the door just so he can go out. F5 Seth Rollins, pinned him. F5 Riddle, pinned him. F5 AJ Styles, pinned him. Him versus Austin Theory. Austin Theory was just running through the whole ring the whole time. He climbed up into the actual cage, trying to avoid him. He hit him in the balls. He gets F5'd from the top of the pod to the floor to then get pinned, to then Brock Lesnar winning the WWE Championship. For now, the card for WrestleMania is looking predictable but good. Not complaining about it. We're gonna have Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch for the Raw Women's Championship. Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar again. This time, title for title. I will not do my predictions right now, even though I know how it's going to end. I believe I know how it's going to end, but hey. Those three matches alone are okay. Sami Zayn just won back the Intercontinental Championship, so hopefully they have a good storyline with him. That way they can feature him at WrestleMania. Same thing with Damian Priest. All the titles need to be defended at WrestleMania. I don't care who you are. You have 2 days. 2 day long WrestleManias. 2 days. You can fit everybody, you know? With that being said, I believe we're going to have a Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins. But supposedly it was going to be Kevin Owens versus Stone Cold. But if it doesn't happen, I would love to see Damian Priest versus Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins for the United States Championship. I think that would be dope in a triple threat match, or even have a ladder match like before. Anyway, with that being said, they call me the king. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Make sure you guys like the video. Helps me out a ton. I do really appreciate it. With that being said, they call me the king. Thank you guys so much for watching.